Good evening, and welcome to Game Overcast, the Cave Edition. No, not really, it's dark. Hello, and welcome to Game Overcast, episode 34. I am Matt.
Hi, I'm Brittany today. Again.
And as you
Again.
can... Again?
Yes. As always.
Today I might be Brittany. Tomorrow I might be Steve.
I mean, you never know.
In different hats, whatever. It's like we're... Never mind. Anyways, as you can clearly see or not see that there is no video this episode, we do apologize for that. Mm-hmm. I have injured my foot rather badly, and we usually record downstairs at one of our stores, and Stairs and Matt do not get along. I'd better off just throwing myself down the stairs than walking down the stairs.
Poor Matt. I swear your foot is always hurt.
Yeah, I'm falling apart. Like, apparently once you get past 30, you just start to die. Like, I don't know how there are old people in the world, because it's just horrible.
No, I just think you have really bad luck, honestly.
That could be the case. Whatever. It's just heaping gobs of karma washing over me at all times, but that's fine. I'm not changing.
Why do I believe that?
Since Nintendo's cursed me for making fun of them. Man, I'm going to have no legs by the time
yeah,
this
you
show's
were
over.
a Sega kid?
Oh, yes, take it, blah, 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 blah. Here, buy our ROM boxes, man.
Oh, that's so messed up.
So this episode is going to be a little bit, what's the word here for
Different?
it? Slapdash, cobbled together. We have a really good show, but we're saving it for when we record here. So in 2 weeks, we're going to have the show we were going to do now. So this show, we realized there's tons and tons of really, really good news with Tokyo Game Show coming up and that really awesome Nintendo Direct from last week. So we're going to spend a whole show talking about that, which also means we might actually have a quick show for a change and not have a 2-hour-long show because we just don't have anything to talk about.
That's okay, though, because it's kind of like a little mini show before the real show.
I'll believe it when I see it.
It's kind of cool.
But
Yeah, I know.
So
We always talk about how we're going to finish really quickly, and then 2 hours later,
like,
we're done.
what happened? Why is the sun coming up? So we start off with, as usual, a little bit of now playing. And I know what Britt's now playing because I'm now playing it with her right now. In fact, we're actually not recording because we're now playing at the moment.
Yes, exactly.
What are you playing, Brittany?
Well, Matt, thank you for asking.
Over to you with the weather, Brittany.
Destiny 2. We actually just finished Forsaken, and it is, oh my god, it was amazing.
I'm so glad Kate is dead.
No, you monster. He just says that so he can get under my skin because I love Cade, and so
I have to say, kudos to Bungie for having the guts to get rid of their best character.
Well, no, not that. I don't believe it. He's gonna come back.
He's dead.
Somehow.
He's so dead.
Destiny 3. Come on, Bungie.
So, interesting case with Britt. She doesn't play a lot of FPS games because she gets motion sick.
Yes, and I'm sure that you've heard me talk about this, which is really funny. I was mentioning this to somebody earlier today. Even though I get crazy motion sickness, one of my favorite games, my top 5 favorite games, is an FPS. It's BioShock.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
That's crazy.
It's crazy, right?
So,
anyway,
Destiny is your first multiplayer shooter since what, Halo? Because I know you played BioShock, but you haven't really played anything else shooter-wise.
No, I think the last time it was Halo for the... Yeah, we played Halo on the PC.
Yeah.
But we actually... That's not true. Gosh, it's hard to remember. But we actually played Halos on the Xbox One. On the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. Remember? We co-opted.
That's right. We ran through the
Halo
campaigns.
4.
That's right.
We did Halo. We did Halo 3. We skipped Halo 2.
So you're like a Bungie fangirl, aren't
I am.
you? What the heck?
I just realized this. I didn't even realize. But yeah, I really love... I loved Halo.
So you think we can talk into playing Overwatch a little bit now too? Just a little bit. Once or twice. Just get into it. It's fun.
Overwatch is going to continually piss me off because
it should have been so much more. I agree.
Yes, but also I love the characters. I love the character designs. I love the little shorts that Blizzard puts out.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be a movie. I love these stories.
It makes you want more, and there's never going to be more.
But it upsets me because I was so excited for Overwatch when they were announcing it, and when remember they were releasing one by one, like the little thingies,
the little Pixar thing they did.
Yeah,
the
little
was great.
move. And the first one is so good. The one with the
kids in the museum.
Yeah, the kids in the museum. Yeah. I love that one so much, and they have such good characters. Like I think Diva is super cute, and I think what's her name, the British one, Tracer. I think Tracer is super cute. But it's a shooting game.
I do love it. It is at the end of the day, it's just a team shooter, and it should have been a lot more. But for what it is, Blizzard's always been really good at not necessarily breaking any molds. Because if you think about it, most of what they've done They haven't really done anything original. Like WoW was just a really, really, really good EverQuest. Diablo, I mean, were there any other good action RPGs? I think they may have done Diablo.
Oh my God, I love Diablo.
They'll take a concept and they will just polish the crap out of it and make it the best version of that game that there could be.
I must say, I mean, we've played a lot of Blizzard games. I love Blizzard. I love Diablo. I mean, how many times have we beat Diablo, really?
Too many, and we're going to do it again when the Switch version comes out in November.
I am so excited for that Switch version. I'm ready.
Do it again.
But, I mean, I don't know what it is about Overwatch. I can't.
We'll work on you. We'll work on you.
Can't get it.
We're going to get you into the Crucible. So anyway,
I can't get it. No, I'm trying to get raid ready, man.
Thank you. Back over to Destiny. So I've been playing Destiny 2, as you all know, since launch. And it's been in, different places. It was kind of in a rocky position. The first, when it launched, it was good, but the end game was kind of iffy. And then Curse of Osiris came out, and it got really, really bad. Like, you weren't around here for this, so you don't understand. You went just straight from Destiny through everything into Forsaken because you got the Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
You didn't suffer like the rest of us poor schmucks that kept playing the game.
I feel like that's the best time is just to wait.
It really
when
is.
When you know that a game is going to have expansions.
Off you go.
And then, story is going to be incled. I'm like, I'll wait for the Gotti.
Yeah, that's what I get for not
for the game
Gotti.
Of the year. Yeah, for the Gotti.
Man, Gotti. Go get the car. That's me and my impatience. I have to play now because I love the loot thing and I love the chasing of the new gear and stuff. The problem with Destiny 2 up until this point was powering up. It became too difficult and there wasn't enough avenues to power yourself up. Where Destiny is now is there are so many ways to power up, even when you hit what's called the soft cap. So you just hit 500, right? Or you're not even there yet. You're close.
No, I think I'm like 498.
Okay.
Or like 495.
The way it works is as you're leveling up upwards, and it's been other points before this, but so with Forsaken now, the max light level or power level is 600. When you hit 500, you hit what is called a soft cap. So right now, anything you kill, whenever they drop gear, it's always or almost always going to be an increase. Once you hit 500, that stops. Every piece of gear you get is going to be 500.
See, but this doesn't bother me because this is one of the reasons why I love JRPGs. I love the grind. And an avid MMO player because we've tried almost every MMO that's out there that exists.
So you get
maybe
that
Tabula
then.
Rasa.
So let me explain why during Curse of Osiris and Warmind it was a problem.
Tabula Rasa? Okay.
Do I have a what? Tabula Rasa?
Yeah.
Yeah, that game that no one played.
That Richard Garriott game. Anyway, continue.
Poor Lord British. Sometimes your games just suck.
Oh no.
And actually, Tabula Rasa wasn't bad. Just no one played it.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it was kind of a cool concept. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So you get the grind. The problem with Destiny is there was a point where after you did your weekly thing, so every Tuesday they would reset and you would do 3 or 4 things. Like you'd have to run 3 strikes. You could do what's called a flashpoint on a planet. You could do your Crucible stuff. And then that was it. And each one of those things would give you what's called a powerful engram or an item or weapon of random roll that would be guaranteed to give you a power increase most of the time. And then that was it. The rest of the week, you could do literally nothing to power yourself up. Nothing. So you'd get on Tuesday, play those things, maybe if you had a big enough group, run the raid, maybe. And that's it. The rest of the time you're playing that game was for nothing. In other games, you can get small increases. You can grind for little bits and pieces. In Destiny 2, at that point, there was no reason to play the game to get more power because you couldn't do it. You could kill 1 million enemies and not get an increase. There was no chance to get it. So that killed the game for a lot of people. Especially with Warmind when it came out, because we played the Leviathan raid, we played the Eater of Worlds raid, Lair, and then when Spire of Stars came out, it was the point where you could only have 2 or 3 increases a week. It would take us a month or 2 to get to that level. We just gave up and didn't care. So we still, to this point, haven't beaten Spire of Stars because we weren't strong enough. But now with Forsaken, you have it feels like dozens. You have at least 2 to 3 times as many powerful engrams per week, plus you always have a chance to get something called a prime engram, which is just like a powerful engram, but it drops from just random powerful enemies, which is what we all wanted. So you can play, and while the chance might be low, you always have the chance of getting an increase. So there's always a reason to play the game.
Yeah, I like that. Because it's nice to have something to keep you going, for sure. And I don't mind. Again, that's why I love JRPGs and other MMOs. I love side questing. I don't know. I love fetch quests in MMOs as well.
What is wrong
I don't
with you?
know, but I just like to do that stuff.
Here's your cookies, Mrs. Johnson.
I love it. And I love to grind. I know that's weird, but I'm okay with that. Yeah.
It's really good in some places.
I
Destiny makes it fun because it's a lot less click and a lot more shoot and explode and fly forward and.
Maybe it depends on my mood. I don't know, but I enjoy it.
My build in Destiny, I have all 3 characters or classes, but I usually play as a Titan because, like most games, I tend to be the guy with the biggest explosions that dives into things face first. So Forsaken brought forth new super moves and new subclasses for each thing, which you haven't messed with yet because you just got all of the original ones.
Yeah.
The Titan subclass for the arc or the lightning ability is called the Code of the Missile, or as I affectionately call it, the Torpedo Titan. Where there's super. You've seen the super now, right? Where your Titan will just launch and go dun 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 and fly through the air and just punch something. Or my friends hate me because every time I have a super now,
just like
I just scream "Justice a bunch" and just go flying. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I don't care.
It's just like you.
Yep, it's like they added for each class. They added one really cool like anime kind of thing, like where I'm One Punch Man. If you're a warlock, you get to be Goku with your big laser beam, and if you're a hunter, you're just. I mean, no one really cares about hunters, do they? I mean, it's okay.
Wow.
Especially, it's Cade. He's dead now, so whatever.
No, I don't believe it. And look, I'm just saying.
You saw the hole in his chest, and he died Optimus Prime style. He's done, okay?
There's going to be something.
Well, he didn't come back in the raid.
You know what?
The raid just got finished.
The Traveler has awoken something. I don't know. Maybe the Traveler has something up its sleeve.
The darkness. Yeah, dude. Like, I don't trust the Traveler at all.
You stole that from me.
Well, who told you about it?
I told you
Me.
I didn't trust it. You were like, the Traveler. And I was like, I don't trust him. He tried to abandon us.
He did. It did indeed. Well, maybe. It's a big maybe. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the expansions in the future because they put a big emphasis on lore in this game. Not so much, like Bungie's always been really, really good with creating stories, and they've been crap at telling them, which I've always thought kind of funny.
But not really, because I thought the story going through it was awesome. I mean, I enjoyed the story, and you can find other elements of the story. You just have to be willing to look for them.
That's what I mean. Like, you have to look really hard.
But
in
I
some
like
cases.
that.
I'm
okay with that.
They do a pretty poor job of giving you details. Like, you also have the benefit of having me to tell you everything and then showing you different channels and stuff like that where you wouldn't know anything about anything if it weren't for My Name is By. Great channel, by the way.
Yeah, it is a really good one. Just like in the end, or when we were trying to enter the Dreaming City, when we were talking to Petra, I almost called her Petrie. I always jokingly call her Petrie.
Pterodactyl.
So, yeah. Anyway, but when you talk to her, all of that dialogue is optional. You don't have to talk to her if you don't want to.
That's the thing with Forsaken I like so much because they do a lot more lore in it.
Yeah.
Because the other games, well, you ran through this stuff, there was almost nothing to be had.
I mean,
I
felt like there was little bits and pieces that I found, but I just didn't go through and actually look at it.
What you had is what they had. Like for Osiris, there is so much lore out there on Osiris, and unless you hunt for it outside of the game, like who's Osiris? What is Osiris? I don't know. But now you know who it is. Just like Anna Bray. Like, you didn't know who Anna Bray was. And if you just play Warmind, I hate Anna Bray's character in Warmind. Like, she looks lazy. She doesn't do anything. She's going against the rules all the time. And just like, and why? But if you actually look into the past about what a ice cold killer she is, all the cool stuff she does, it's like, oh, okay. I can kind of, I can get behind her as a character.
Yeah.
Bungie doesn't see fit to make sure you know any of that, though. So it's kind of But in Forsaken, there is lore just coming out of your ears. Like, there is a whole section of lore that you can find, and it's just books of material on stuff.
I think that's really cool. Yeah, I like the seeking knowledge. Well, because you know me.
Yeah.
But I really love that. Yeah, I think that's fun.
So it's definitely, Destiny's definitely in a good place, in the best place it's ever been right now.
Can I have that annual pass now, please?
Oh man, let's hop on the bandwagon. I'll get it when the stuff comes out. I'm not in any hurry to get it right now. Although the stuff they're doing with the Drifter and Gambit, if you aren't playing Destiny 2, this is the best time to jump on because it is really good right now. Especially if you're into. Like, if you want to know where the story's going, it looks like it's actually finally going in a direction, and it's going to be reaching an apex here in the next 6 to 12 months, which is pretty sweet. I'm quite excited about it. Yeah. And we've been talking about Destiny for 15 minutes.
I know, I'm so sorry. Something else. One more thing, I promise. Something that's super exciting, Bungie is coming out with a book.
The Grimoire.
Yeah, the little
it's about
grimoire.
Time.
I know. Remember I asked you if they had one, and I kept asking, are you sure they don't have a book? Because it seems like a missed opportunity. Yep. And then I went to their website and I was like, yes, you can pre-order a book. So I think I'm going to do that.
Super stoked.
It doesn't say
they're
when it
taking a
comes
hint
out,
from
though.
Blizzard, I think for sure, where it's like, yeah, we do books on Diablo all the time. They
Oh,
eat this
yeah.
crap up.
We
never
have.
have to make an actual game again.
They really don't.
Pretty much.
I mean...
But I mean, if it not broke, don't fix it. Okay, one more thing. So your one more thing, my one more thing. I desperately want to live in the Dreaming City. It is one of the most beautiful game environments I've seen in years.
But you're not welcome, but I am.
Oh, you hush. The Dreaming City, if you haven't been there, is essentially Space Rivendell. It looks like the cover of a lot of my favorite old sci-fi novels, where it's it is just the personification of fantasy science fiction, where it's just beautiful, just crystal spires and buildings and spaceships flying by. It's nerd heaven. I love it.
It's amazing.
And you haven't seen that much. Oh, dude, it goes like you haven't been to the portal section down below, have you?
No, because we just got there, and I talked to Petra, and she was like, "Welcome, cousin. Let's do stuff." And I was like, "Cool, I'm going to bed."
Let's go have a picnic.
I was like, "I'm going to bed now."
There's an area below the map called the Conflux.
I'm sorry, I keep fidgeting. There's like a mosquito in here.
Kill it.
And it keeps eating me.
Evil mosquito.
The mosquitoes have been terrible.
Yeah, if you're in Houston,
sorry.
you feel the pain, man.
I
There's a plague of mosquitoes right now.
Yes, and they're everywhere. All the stores are sold out of mosquito stuff, and they are, I am not even kidding, the size of quarters. It's upsetting.
Yeah, it's real scary.
I've never seen such fat mosquitoes in my life.
It's all the rain.
All
Anyways,
at the same time. Okay,
back to Game Land. So anything else Destiny-wise is what we're now playing? We're just rocking the party as far as that goes?
Yeah, I think, yeah. And what's funny is we tried to play Spider-Man, but we didn't.
Just didn't have time yet. Yeah, we.
And Spider-Man looks amazing.
Yeah, you picked up the Spider-Man PS4 that no one can find now. You lucky devil. I don't know how you got one of those. But yeah, so it's really cool. I mean, I personally really hate Spider-Man. Like I've never been in the comics. I've always thought Spider-Man was just the whiniest sucker in the universe.
The Spider-Man comics.
Yes, Spider-Man as a character. Like I like his powers.
Yeah.
I love the games. The games are almost always good. 2 being the pinnacle, but this one's supposed to be pretty good. And, so I'm definitely going to play it with you. I also love how this game does have something like 30 alternate suits. I love that, where it's like, Spider-Man from the future, and it's the Noir Spider-Man, and the one from the movies, and Iron Spider, and all these other kind of cool things. So.
This happened recently because I've always been a DC person, that I've never been a Marvel person, really. I mean, yes, I enjoy the Marvel movies. I love Iron Man.
Some of them.
But I never, yes, some of them.
Avengers sucks. Sorry. Not sorry. They ruined Thanos. Okay, real breaker. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
Look. That
we're gonna get hate mail.
Infinity War was fine. Okay, as a movie, it was fine. Thanos' character was fine, unless you read the comics, and then you realize that they destroyed his character. They made Thanos sympathetic in the movie.
See, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Thanos is a character who is literally in love with death, the physical embodiment of death. He wants to marry her, essentially.
that sounds pretty
And he
rad,
wants to impress her by murdering everybody. Tell me, does that sound like the Thanos you saw in the movies? No, it doesn't? Gee, thanks, Disney. No.
I mean, that sounds cool, too. I can get behind both ideas, but I think it's because these characters, like, with the DC universe, a lot of those characters, I've been reading comics for so long that, well, at least DC comics, I have an attachment to those characters, and that kind of matters to me. But I also understand whenever a movie comes out, I just think of it as another comic book arc. It's a different arc. It's
like
a different
reboot
story.
Or something,
it's a little bit different. Each writer has their own thing. Each artist has their own thing. So, unless you're Jeff Johns and you do Green Lantern forever, but
and a darn good job of it,
2000, I don't know, until
he did it for like a decade, I think, something like that, or like 15 years.
Yeah,
it was a long time.
Yeah. It was a really long time, but you get what I'm saying. I just think of it as another, because Batman is not one continuous story, not from 1949, or it wasn't 49, it was Detective Comics 27. When did that come out?
Why are you looking at me? I don't know.
39?
It doesn't matter. It's been a long time.
Whatever. You guys know. But make a comment. Tell me, because I can't remember.
When was Batman originally released?
Yes. I know it's
and what color was his costume supposed to be originally?
Because
question for the fans.
Because I love Batman, but...
Do you know, Brittany? What color was Batman originally? Also, who really made Batman, Brittany? You know this one.
Is this the Bill Finger
Yep, it is.
debate? And yeah.
And now he gets no love at all.
What was I going to say? God, I lost my train of thought. Thanks.
You're welcome. No, I get what you're saying, though. It's just like a different arc or a reboot of the story.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I get that. And I agree because my favorite superhero movie of all time was the Tim Burton Batman, which is one of the most un-Batman stories ever. So like, he gets the visual stuff, but like the whole Joker origin and everything like that just, essentially pulled out of his butt. But it was so wonderfully done.
It's fun. To me, this stuff doesn't have to, it's just another aspect of this universe. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate. Movies are made so you can have a good time.
And that's why I'm saying it was fine. I just think in the case of Thanos, he was really Disneyfied, where they couldn't make him that mean because it's a Disney movie.
I don't know. Disney's done some pretty
They have, but they're
risque.
so careful now with a lot of their stuff. Yeah. And this is not a movie podcast. Oh, we could keep going for a very long time.
But we could, because if you've been listening, we love
movies.
I
will not discuss The Last Jedi on this show.
Okay,
I will not.
But one more thing. Spider-Man.
Yes.
So
no, it's a video game. It's okay.
I was actually contemplating, so help me out here, guys. If you read Spider-Man comics, please let me know where to start, because I actually kind of want to start getting into them. I don't know why Spider-Man.
Are you looking for just good runs or just a good place to
like
begin?
any good run, and anywhere that would be like a good starting point. Because here's the deal: we were talking about this earlier. I don't know why I don't like Spider-Man more.
Well, there's the one where Peter makes a deal with the devil.
Oh, that sounds rad.
That was really good.
His character, the Spider-Man character, is right up my alley, and you know me, like I think he's like that cutesy type of character, almost that innocent type of character that he's cute, and I just love those types of characters, Astro Boys like that. I just dig that type of character. So I don't know why. And then also I have a soft spot for Spider-Man now, because I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah.
When did I start printing artwork? Like 2 or 3 years ago?
I think you got big into it a couple of years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was maybe like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, your little chibi Spider-Man thing?
Everything, yeah. My chibi Spider-Man is still one of my favorite things I've ever done, and it's because of this. I was trying to print artwork for the longest time. I went through so much paper, spent so much money trying different venues. Nothing ever came out right. And I was getting super, super frustrated, and I thought I was going to just flip tables and set everything on fire and just never attempt it again. And one day, I think I got a printer. Yeah, I got a printer for Christmas, and it was a really awesome printer, the printer that I still use now.
Oh, the one I had to help you set up? I remember that.
Yes. And that was the first piece that I attempted that actually came out right.
I remember that,
and it looked like a print, and it looked like a decent print.
Just smack the mic.
I've always
had
a soft spot for Spider-Man after that, and for my Spider-Man print. Anyway.
Man, that was a nightmare too.
The end. Yeah.
I never want to help you with your printer ever again. That was so bad. That took hours of my life. Just, ugh.
And you've occasionally done stuff to it since then.
Yeah, it was a nightmare, dude. Like that last time it got clogged up. Oh, no, thank you. Printer problems. Hashtag printer life.
It happens a lot too. They're prima donnas.
All right, so we move on here. We'll ask our question of the show is what we called it. And I just noticed that I left it blank, so I don't have a question of the show. But I'm going to make one up right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And we were talking about Spider-Man. So, Brittany, what's your favorite superhero game? I'm going to ask you first because I don't know yet either.
Oh, well, this is kind of unfair. Because you know that it's going to have
Batman.
to be. Yes. I love Batman.
But
I'm
which
sorry.
one? A lot of people would say Asylum.
Hold on.
But Knight was really good, and City was really good.
I like Arkham Knight better than Arkham Asylum and Arkham City.
Wow.
I know.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Is that not a popular opinion?
No,
Sorry.
A lot of people think
Sorry.
Knight was. A lot
Sorry,
of people
not sorry.
didn't like Knight because of all the Batmobile stuff. I thought it was great, personally.
I loved Knight. I thought it was.
You like Batmobile, that's why.
Yeah, I do.
I
love Bat everything. It's fine. Did I think that the story was super shocking? No. But I did love Knight.
Okay. Why?
Why? Because it was good.
You were looking away from the mic. I was like, you need to talk to the microphone.
It was good. I mean, first of all,
the Jason Todd thing was not at all a shock to anybody in the world.
No, it wasn't. But that's okay. It was still a good story. It was a good time. I think all the elements for Knight were there.
Right.
The atmosphere, the music, the voice acting. For me, all of the brooding and darkness and Batman.
It's always raining in Gotham City. Even when it's not raining. It's still incredibly moist.
It was there. It was all there. All the elements were there for me. And I was just so excited to get my hands on it. So, I loved it. And I must say...
It was a beautiful game.
Asylum and City are fantastic games. Please do not think that I am crapping on those games. But for me, it was Night all the way.
I have to say, I loved the little, like, child seats you would put criminals in the Batmobile in the back. Remember those? Where, like, the trunk would open up and you, like, put them in. And it would be, like, the little, like, little baby seats they would sit in and be like, I'll get you next time, Batman. And you just lock them in the trunk. And away you go. It's like, wow. Then Batman goes to the store and leaves them in the car. Topical humor. Anyways.
But man, what other superhero games? Oh, that's difficult.
Well, there's the amazing Superman game for the N64. There's actually been quite a few. There's bad Superman. I said bad superhero games. There's Superman. There's Aquaman. There's Batman Begins, which is just a big walking piece of crap. There was a couple of the Spider-Man ones were pretty bad. What else? There was on older consoles. You had like Maximum Carnage, which would be in my running for one of my favorite superhero games. Another Spider-Man game actually. Weird. A couple X-Men games. X-Men 1 was okay. X-Men 2 was fantastic on the Sega Genesis. What else? You had the Wolverine Adamantium Rage game. Mm-hmm. That was pretty good. You had the Wolverine game for, 360? That was actually all right. Where I think it was Mark Hamill did Wolverine's voice, and it was really good work with that.
That's interesting.
What else? I'm trying to think I'm probably going to have to just cop out and say X-Men Arcade. Because I love that game. Yeah. Every time I see it, I was like, I've got to play this. It's fantastic.
That's funny for us. I know that you were a big Marvel Comics kid because you read a lot of Marvel stuff when you were a kid. Yeah. Not so much when you were older. But I think it's funny that we like a lot of Marvel stuff despite never reading much of any Marvel comics.
Well, it was all about, like a lot of kids my age, X-Men cartoon, dude.
Oh, yeah.
All day long.
And this, I was totally behind the Batman animated series, the X-Men cartoon, and the Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah, those were all so good. And then the Spider-Man cartoon just randomly ended. Remember that crap? I'm like, okay, and let's go find Mary Jane. Okay, I'm coming with you. And it just stopped.
I'm coming with you.
I was like, screw you guys. Very sad, Matt.
And of course, we can't forget the Beetlejuice cartoon and the Ghostbusters cartoon.
Actually, we can.
Amazing.
Dun, 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 dun.
No. So good.
Well, if we're talking cartoons, then we have to talk like, Transformers, and we have to talk Voltron. And we have to talk Jem at that rate, because Jem was always on before
Jem
Voltron.
Was awesome,
and the Misfits were outrageous, truly outrageous. No, that was... Anyways... Yes. Welcome to Pull It Out of Your Butt Cast.
Cast. Yeah. And Not Comics Cast.
Okay, so I have a question for the audience. So, of course, let us know what your favorite superhero game was. Please at a podcast at GameOverVideogames.com, or let us know on the YouTube channel. Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yay! Also, question specifically for you guys for the next show, because our next show is going to be on our favorite video game cutscenes. This came to me in a dream one night, and we were going to do it this time, but because we can't film, I decided to wait. So what was your favorite cutscene in a game? Not your favorite game, just your favorite cutscene, which kind of opens things up for a little bit of fun. Because there's some really cool cinematics out there in some really crappy games. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be like your favorite game. It could be a game that you don't, like Matt has a really good one. I'm not going to say what it is, but he told me just one. I'm not going to say mine. It's not what you'd expect at all. It is not what you would expect from him. I was pretty shocked. But I have a couple that you would expect, of course. He doesn't really care for the game that much, though he played it. But he just thinks the cutscene is really cool. I just love this cutscene. It was fantastic. It was like the opening cinematic. I like that. That was a really good idea. I like that. I like that a lot. So we'll see. But please let us know. Podcast at GameOverVideogames.com. What was your favorite cutscene and superhero game? Because we just came up with that. Totally didn't. Whatever. And we're going to move right along here. I'm not even going to take a break. We're just going to knock this out. So tons of news. Tokyo Game Show. It is currently, we're recording this before Tokyo Game Show, which I think is the 20th of September. But Sony already had their pre-conference show thing. Yay. So they announced a lot of crap. And then we had the Nintendo Direct that was delayed and just happened the other day, where they announced a ton of crap as well, which is awesome. And we're going to go over just, things that we thought was cool, things that we thought was, what was you thought was cool, yeah? Some adhesive medical strips. And we'll talk about what we liked, what we didn't like. Obviously, we're not going to talk about everything from each announcement. If we missed something that you thought was cool, please let us know. The adhesive medical strips? Yeah. Zim. I knew it. It took a minute, and then I was like, wait a minute, that was him. Okay. So, first off, the Nintendo Direct. Cool news for RPGs fans. Man, my voice is going. I'm telling you, I say it every podcast. English is hard. English is hard. Just speaking, moving your jaw repeatedly and going blah, 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 blah. So much work. So much work. Right? And you're going, You'll understand. That was a really weird sound.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So, try this again, but slower. Good news for RPG fans on the Nintendo Switch.
Yay.
Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, 10, 2, 12, 15 Pocket Edition, World, known as World Maxima Edition, and a version of Chocobo Dungeon, all coming to the Switch. But wait, what's that? It sounds like I skipped a game there. Gee, Britt, what's missing?
I am so sorry. I can't... You know what? I dig 8 a lot.
Where is Final Fantasy 8 Square?
But I'm not mad that they're doing all of these.
It's cool that they're doing all of these, but it's a blatant 7 blank, 9, 10, 12, 15. They can't do 11 because 11 was an MMO.
10 is my favorite.
Well,
so.
Screw you.
I'm
8's
really
my
excited.
favorite.
I'm so sorry.
And I don't care. Like, 8 is, I think, probably the most divisive one out there. Like, 10-2 is kind of an iffy thing, but you either love 8 or you really hate 8. I haven't met a lot of people that are like, yeah, 8 was okay. It's either, oh, it was great, or my God, light that game on fire.
I thought it was a great game. It has not that they all have fantastic soundtracks, but 8 has a really fantastic soundtrack. Absolutely.
And I love it, the shift to like the hard sci-fi and more realistic PS1 graphics and everything from 7. I loved the junction system, and everyone's like, oh, but drawing is so difficult. Learn to play Triple Triad and turn cards into spells. You're done. But it gave you so many options, and I talk about this game way too much, but like that game to me had the most options for playing with stats in any Final Fantasy to this day, because you could make any character anything to any degree, and it was fantastic if you like just to mess with things and do different stuff. It was awesome. Plus, it had the really great time travel angle, the best ending of any Final Fantasy ever. Fight me. I'm sorry, better than 10. I don't care. Easily better than 7. I'm sorry. And
well, considering the ending for 10 was super depressing.
Yeah. Exactly. And the ending in 10 too, you had to like 100% to get to see the ending at all.
Yeah, and you bet your bottom I 100%ed that game because I needed that ending.
Man. And then you find out what happens after that, and you wish you didn't know.
Anyway, so
oh, look at that blitzball kick. There goes your head.
Oh no.
If you really like the story in 10 and want to just be crushed, read the official continuation after 10-2, written by the guy who wrote the stories for 10 and 10-2. Read that and just be sad.
I don't believe him.
Because it's awful. It's so awful.
I don't know if you realize this, but I just deny things whenever
it just doesn't exist. Well, it's as much
like,
as 10-2
really
could be taken as just a nice what-if story. Whatever 10-3 would have been, same thing. It's not real. It's never really happened because it's terrible. But so yeah, no Final Fantasy 8. That pisses me off.
Yeah,
like I get that it's not
nice
universal. Like we all love 7. That's fine. But come on, Square.
I mean, everybody does love 7, and can you blame them? 7 is actually a really good game.
7 is great, yeah. But I've said it before. It's my least favorite of the PS1 trilogy. Not saying it's not a fantastic game because it is.
What do you think which one do you think has the best soundtrack out of all of them? Do not say 8 because it's your favorite, unless you really think that.
It's actually really tough. I also love 9. 9 had a beautiful soundtrack.
Super good.
Because it was this nice fantasy, but 10 was also really good too.
Oh, that one song.
Tell you what, I can tell you which one I think had the least good soundtrack, and that would be 12.
Yes, absolutely.
12 was just, you know why? Because 12 was forgettable.
You know what? I have to admit, though, 10-2 soundtrack was also forgettable.
I really love the poppy bits, but there were 1 or 2 songs from 10-2, like that 1,000 Words, that really cheesy song. I remember that song. I can't remember a single song from 12 because I hated 12. 12 was a garbage fire.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you like 12. 12 was just, I couldn't get into it.
That one was not your jam.
I told that story. I waited out in front of a GameStop to pick that up one night, went home, played it for hours, and I hated it. I played that game for a good, 15, 20 hours, and I just couldn't do it. And that broke my heart. And then I played 13, it was the same thing. And for a while there, I thought Final Fantasy was just dead. Because 12 and 13 I couldn't do. I could not get into either one of them. And then, I played 14, which wasn't really Final Fantasy. It was an MMO. And then 15 was good. 15 had its problems.
15 was awesome.
But 15 was really good. I'm curious what the pocket version is like. Where like a little chibi and cute and deformed.
I know. I'm totally going to play that because that's my favorite.
And Final Fantasy World was great.
I love chibis.
So playing that portably was, I'm sure, some added
Final
features.
Fantasy? Yeah. Yes.
That's going to be great.
Absolutely.
And Chocobo Dungeon is literally a dungeon crawler with chocobos. If you haven't played that before, Britt, it's great.
Haven't, but that sounds fantastic.
Tons of good Final Fantasy games. What the hell? No 8, but otherwise fantastic.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super proud of Nintendo, I must say.
Yeah.
I'm really proud.
I know. First time Final Fantasy VII on a Nintendo console. Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, they're coming out with a lot of stuff too.
Yeah. So that's good.
And they're putting a lot, I feel like they're trying so hard.
Nintendo is so good sometimes, and then on the same hand, they're so stupid. But we'll get into it. Like, I love Nintendo, and
There
just really want to just give them a hug and be like, were you squeezed too hard as a child? What happened? But, okay, moving on. So, Katamari Rerolls.
Yes!
Yes!
Yeah. I swear. I swear, I almost cried. I was crying.
We knew something was coming because they filed a copyright before this.
See, I didn't know they did that.
Okay, well, I did.
You told me after they announced it, and I was like, what?
Yeah, they filed something. We didn't know what it was for Katamari Reroll. I'm like, oh, cool. So it's an HD remaster of the original and still best Katamari game with, some new controls, which
so
don't care, and new multiplayer, they said. Which, yeah. I love the multiplayer just because I could, roll people up and eat them, and it was funny.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
If you haven't played Katamari yet, go find it. It's on PS3,
you doing?
PS2.
Pause right now.
And go play
get it.
We will wait.
GameOverVideogames.com. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, I was right. GameOverVideogames.com.
We might have it too. It's
Katamari.
Yeah, either the first or second one, Katamari Damacy, or We Love Katamari on PS1 and 2. There's a Vita version.
Yep.
Katamari Forever, I think it was. Was that the one on the Vita?
Yes, I believe so.
They're all really good. I think the best one is still the first one, but they just get progressively more insane and very Japanese.
I remember when
we're gonna do a quirky game show, and Katamari is just like the headliner.
I know. I'm super stoked. I just wanted an excuse to talk about Katamari.
You can feel the cosmos.
I feel it.
I feel the cosmos.
But it's so great.
I mean, if for some reason you haven't played it, you need to. It's one of those games where it's just whimsical at its best. I mean, you roll crap into a ball and it becomes stars.
And it sounds super dumb, but it is the most amazing game you will ever play, and it will make you happy inside. Your heart will be happy.
You're not blowing stuff up. You aren't killing people. You aren't rescuing a princess. It's just this random fun where you roll things into a ball.
And you're playing game because it's fun.
It's fun. You're
playing game. That's what I said.
You play game.
You play game because it's fun.
Yep. That should be...
It's fantastic.
That should be just the tagline. Katamari Reroll. You play game because it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I'm so upset that I missed this. But Mondo, because we buy a lot of Mondo vinyls. Mondo came out with a 2 vinyl collection of the Katamari soundtrack.
So pretty.
And I was so excited because it was like super cheap.
And
it was
like
sold
out in
$35.
like a day.
And I wanted it so bad. It was so gorgeous, and it's gone.
Yep. Oh well. Yeah, I know. We tried to get it in our stores too.
Please re-release.
Please, yeah. No kidding.
I need it.
All right, let's move on here. Please, go ahead, Brett. Sorry, I'm going to drink of water.
Okay. So something super cool, and that way people can stop complaining.
Like me.
Yes, that it was on the 3DS. Luigi's Mansion 3 on the Switch.
Yeah.
That is super amazing, and I think it's coming out relatively soon.
2019, they didn't put a date on it.
Oh, okay.
It's coming. But then it's also coming like Metroid Prime 4.
I saw marketing in a store for it already.
Cool.
So
you sure it's not for the 3DS one that's coming out? Because they're doing a remake of the first one for the 3DS.
Okay. You know what? You're right. I'm wrong. Sorry. Okay.
That's cool. But, I mean, Luigi's Mansion was a fantastic game for the GameCube. I never played the 3DS version, because the 3DS hurts my eyes.
So I went back and we played some of this because I had never... Remember... Didn't we talk about that on an episode?
Did we?
That I hadn't played a Luigi's Mansion?
Playing it.
This was a while ago. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, though.
I
don't think so. By all means.
I thought it was us. Maybe.
Do you have another gaming buddy I'm not aware of?
Maybe. I mean...
I don't even think I have my copy of Luigi's Mansion anymore. I need to get another one.
No, we do.
Okay, well, go on.
I gotta look. Anyway, but yes, I'm super stoked. That's really cool. I like, the ghost levels have always been my favorite in Mario. So, why? Yeah, I figured Luigi's Mansion
so good too. That
would be super cool.
It was very, very gutsy of Nintendo to release the GameCube with a Luigi game. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cute.
So that's good. They're doing 3 for the Switch. Thankfully, rightfully so. Thank you for making games for your, primary console now. Thanks.
Yes, and that's really cool. I'm super excited to have that. I'll definitely get the one for the 3DS, and then this will be nice to accompany
Will
that.
you play the 3DS one, and I'll play the one that doesn't make my eyes hurt.
I want to play this one too, but I will definitely get the one on the 3DS.
Sweet.
You know, I was a late, like I was mentioning earlier, a late bloomer when it came to Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
I didn't play it until
you didn't have
much,
a GameCube,
much later.
did you? I don't think y'all ever had a GameCube.
Did I have a No.
Nope.
Yeah, I did, but
did?
not until much later.
Ah, okay, cool.
Like much, much later.
So next one we all knew was coming. I could not care less about this, but I get the madness. Officially announced an Animal Crossing game for the Switch.
Yay! Animal Crossing!
I have written, yay, time for Tom Nook to extort more bells from hapless players.
That's
Go
okay.
fishing, fool.
I'm super excited. Yes, it has been too long, and Animal Crossing is fantastic and super addicting. And yes,
and
we must
utterly pointless.
We must play.
I had someone ask me the other day, what's Animal Crossing? I'm like, it's kind of Harvest Moon without the farm. Like, what do? I'm like, you decorate your house and go fishing. And
but you can
shake
like
trees.
do things for the animals that are your neighbors, and then they give you presents, and then you give them presents, and it's so lovely. And you can write them letters, and I love that because it's super fun.
I wonder what this is like. Someone who's addicted to
I love
drugs
it.
sounds like
Maybe.
when they're justifying it. It's like, so you can do nothing, and then give you a T-shirt.
But it's so great, which is really hilarious. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Animal Crossing is more whimsical, but
The word of the show, by the way.
yeah, apparently. Word of the day.
It's whimsical.
Can you spell that for us, Johnny?
Probably not.
You keep making me lose my train of thought.
Wait, you hear that sound? That's the sound of something derailing.
Yes, he keeps doing it on purpose, I swear. What was I doing? What was I talking about? Okay.
Animal Crossing.
Yes, Animal Crossing. Gosh darn it, I can't remember.
All right.
He threw me off way too much.
Shall we just move along then?
He
Are we just
threw me
done?
off too much. Super exciting. Oh,
Okay,
I
go.
hate The Sims.
It's fun
Yes,
game. You play
that's
game
where I was
because it's
going.
fun.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm tired, okay? The Sims. I hate The Sims. I can't do The Sims. The character customization in The Sims is amazing.
Yes.
But maybe it's because Animal Crossing is more whimsical, but I just
It's
love
because you play cute
Animal
little
Crossing.
furry animals.
Maybe. It's super addicting, though.
And they
I love
call
it.
you Sugar Bee.
They do. That was the nickname they gave me. Isn't that sweet? Oh, they're my friends.
Yep. Yep. That's the sign of addiction right there.
Yep, indeed.
I have to go back to town. They miss me. They're my friends.
It's true. I mean, we would be
Dun,
doing
dun,
something
dun,
and be
dun,
like, "Oh
dun,
my
dun,
God,
dun.
oh my God, Miffy's birthday," or whatever.
No, not Miffy.
I was supposed to give her a present. That's one of the Sanrio
Now she's
characters.
gonna hate me.
Miffy,
Oh, what's a little bunny in there?
the Sanrio.
Yeah, the little bunny thing.
Yeah, the little bunny.
Miffy!
Yeah.
Yay. I'm glad you forgot Miffy's birthday. Miffy's a jerk.
No. Anyway, yeah.
Miffy doesn't recycle.
Super addicting.
Okay, moving along.
Yes.
New Mario Brothers U Deluxe. Meh.
What do you mean, meh?
The last two 2D Mario platformers for the Wii and the Wii U I thought were not bad, but not really very good either.
What?
I've talked about this before. Every time I play those games, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to go play Rayman Legends now because it's a much better 2D platformer.
I can definitely, because remember I was playing Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS.
Yes.
And there was a lot about that game that made me mad. It was still a good game.
Yes.
But there was a lot about the game that made me mad. I do have to say that I enjoyed 3D World much better than 3D
I would agree with
Land.
that, yes. Even if the camera was awful.
But New Super Mario Brothers I thought was fine.
It was fine, yes.
Absolutely
I'm not saying it
fine.
was bad. I don't think it needed a port. I don't think it was that good. Like
But you know what?
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, sure, that game was fantastic.
Yeah. This game is fantastic too.
I would not go that far.
I mean, Donkey Kong is awesome, but I'm happy that this got a port because it feels more like a traditional Mario. I think they needed something like that. Mario Odyssey is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bagging on Mario Odyssey.
I'd like them maybe
But
just to do a new one then.
it isn't
and quit
a
porting
traditional
titles
Mario.
no one bought because it was a Wii U. I mean, I get why they're doing it because no one owned a Wii U, so a lot of these games
Yeah.
didn't get sold.
It makes perfect sense. It's a perfectly great game.
How much you bet it's going to be? I'll bet it's going to be $60.
It's an awesome game that you can play on the
Would
go.
you pay $60 for it?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, because sometimes there is nothing that will scratch the platformer itch like Mario.
Or Rayman?
Damn, you got me there.
Sorry, Rayman's my platformer
That's
now,
a good one.
until Mario does a better job.
Rayman is a really good one.
So good. They need to make another one. They need to quit re-releasing that game for every console, cell phone, and washing machine, and do a new. Come on, Ubisoft, new Rayman game, please. Like, I love them to death. I played that game so. Like, you want to talk about games I've bought so many times? Rayman's one of them. Oh my god.
Oh, and I know the second one.
Yeah.
Axiom Verge.
Oh yeah, well that's more of a Metroidvania.
You have purchased that game so many times, I've lost count.
That and then Diablo. That'd just be a show.
Diablo as well?
Oh, gosh, games you've bought too many times.
Oh, we should do a show. Because you know that's happened.
Write that one down. So, I mean, it's good that they're doing it. If it's as much as Donkey Kong, there's no way in heck I'm paying for it. Just because I played it once. I didn't think it was that good.
That's fair. But, you know, we were talking about this earlier. I personally don't think you've enjoyed Mario for quite some time.
No, I enjoy Mario just fine. I just have issues with it. Like Odyssey, I went back and I played Odyssey for a good chunk of time. Still haven't never beat it because I felt it was way too collectathon-y even for a 3D Mario game. But it really bugged me, and I don't think anyone in the world would argue with this. It's poor design that they gated the best moves behind motion controls. It's just poor game design.
I mean, people love that game, and
that's great. But any other people, like, was this a good design choice? If they say yes, they're lying.
I don't personally feel like it hinders the game. Well, I think the game is still fantastic.
It hinders because you can't do certain things.
But you didn't really enjoy 3D World. You didn't really enjoy 3D Land.
Well, once again, I enjoyed them, but 3D World the same thing. 3D World was hindered, I think, by a rather uncooperative camera because they had to have it with that kind of isometric angle because of the co-op.
Yeah.
I think I would have enjoyed that game a lot more, unfortunately, if it was just single player.
I completely understand. I completely understand where you're coming from, but I would take that over single player. I mean, I'm happy that it was co-op. I had a lot of fun. We had a lot of laughs playing that game together.
Oh, I would agree.
So I wouldn't.
I
would
happy
take
that
the bad
Odyssey
camera.
went back to the original camera though, because it controls so much better. I think the last Mario game that really gave me that sense of Mario wonder was Sunshine, dude. Like I enjoyed Mario games.
I thought you were going to say Galaxy.
Galaxy, yeah, that's right. Galaxy was really good too. I really enjoyed Galaxy, but Sunshine was just perfect. And it's weird because a lot of people didn't like Sunshine either, but I love Sunshine because it had the great Mario platforming with, I think, Nintendo not being afraid to do something too different.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, Sunshine's never been my favorite.
Yeah, it's never been a lot of people's favorite.
Yeah.
I swear I'm not trying to be a hipster where it's like, I like the games no one else like. I like Final Fantasy VIII. It's not deliberate, man. I mean,
yeah, no.
I also really like Destiny. It's okay. You play Fortnite, bro? Anyways, moving on. Sorry.
Oh, no.
It's this newest thing. No one's heard of it yet.
That's the bane of my existence is Fortnite.
But like, I really, you're right. I did love Galaxy. It's just everything Mario since then hasn't been bad. They haven't. Like, they've been fun. It just, they haven't captured that, like, ooh, kind of, thing that older Mario games used to do where I'd go back to it. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to go back and play Mario Odyssey 10 years from now. I don't think I'm going to care that much. I'll also go back and play Sunshine.
I can definitely see where you're coming from, even though I very much enjoyed New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. Or New Super Mario Bros. U, sorry.
Deluxe Donut Edition.
Yeah. There's so many.
Donuts.
But have you noticed they always call it New Super Mario Brothers?
Yes.
Anyway. So you're like,
the names keep getting longer.
New Super Mario Brothers.
Deluxe Ultra Mega Kamehameha Edition with cheese.
You. I've always enjoyed them, but yes, I will always go back to either Mario 3 or Super Mario World. For sure.
I agree.
I think nothing will ever be as great as those.
All right, let's keep rolling because guess what? The show's starting to run long.
I know.
And the list is still
But you didn't really believe us, did you?
Oh, I believed us. I was really happy with it.
We talk a lot.
Yeah, we do. So little things here, like Game Freak working on a new game that's not Pokemon, which is cool.
That is cool.
Town. Abbreviation working title. No one really knows.
Just Town?
I saw it. Yeah, it's just called Town.
Okay.
Town. And it's about this kid protecting his town from monsters. Very limited stuff.
I saw like a 5-second clip.
That's about what everyone else saw too.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it looks interesting coming 2019. It's nice that Game Freak's working on something that isn't Pokemon. I kind of wish they'd be working on a hardcore Pokemon game, which they are.
Me too.
But
I will take Pokemon over this town.
And I could be wrong. I'm sure I am wrong, but I get the feeling that maybe if they just focus all the resources on a new Pokemon game, we could get it a little bit sooner. Because once again, I have no desire to play Let's Go. I'm not going to bother playing it, I don't think. I might play it if you demand I try it, but I don't care.
I want to give it a shot just because I really dig Pokemon. So I want to try it just to see what it's like.
But so that's that. There wasn't a whole much to see there. What else? Isabel in Smash?
Yay!
So this is cool.
It is
okay,
cool.
I'm saying it's cool, but did anyone on the planet ask for Isabel in Smash?
I'm sure plenty of people did. I mean, people wanted the villager, and they got the villager.
That's true. Can you imagine how pissed off the Waluigi crowd's going to be, though? It's like, really? Isabel? Hello.
You know
Nintendo
what?
has a way of, like, just not smiting, like casting lightning bolt on the people, but doing things just to spite their audience. Sometimes it's like the whole Mother 3 thing, where at that E3 a couple years ago, they did a joke, and they were like, haha, you're never going to get it. It's like, dude, don't do that to your fans. You're going to piss. And this was like when Nintendo was at their darkest with the Wii U. It was like, no one's buying your crap anyways. You need to not do that. I think they remind me of like an old person trying to be cool and failing kind of thing. Like, people really want Waluigi. And if you don't put him in this game, people are going to be upset. They're still going to buy it. It's like, dude, like, there's a clear, like, I don't care if Waluigi's there, but there's like a clear, like, roar for Waluigi in this game. And there has been for a long time.
I bet you're going to get it.
Like, I don't care. I got some in Belmont. I'm happy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm content.
I really feel like they're knocking it out the park. And I think that there will be a Waluigi, whether it's going to be DLC.
You're going to have to pay for it. Oh, yeah.
Or they're going to add it in the game from the get-go. I think he'll be there. Well,
it's cool. I don't care either way. I think it's funny. I can just hear them like screaming when they announce Isabel, like, why?
But I bet a lot of people were happy about that too, because Animal Crossing is a really big game.
You're right. It is.
It's a fun game, and who doesn't love Isabel? Just saying.
She's okay.
She's precious.
She's adorable. So yeah, that just about wraps up the Nintendo Direct, doesn't it?
Reese and Cyrus in there.
Reese, no, they need to put Tom Nook, and he just like puts you in debt, and you can't do anything. Because he's a mob boss, and it's horrible. Did he not look like a mob boss in the Direct, sitting in his desk looking all evil? Like he's going to come break your legs if you don't give him the bells?
His eyes are like super heavy lidded.
Yeah, it's horrible. So yeah, that about wraps up the Direct, right? We didn't miss anything, did we? Oh, wait a minute. That's right. They gave details for their online service.
Oh, no.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
Okay, so I went into this writing just to be positive. So let's talk the good. The good. It's really cheap.
Yeah.
For a year, it's either $4 a
$30
month or $20 a year.
Oh, 20 a year?
Super cheap.
I thought it was 30 a year.
I think it's 20. Super cheap.
Okay.
That's great. You get cloud saves. So finally,
Yay.
if your Switch breaks, you don't lose all of your data. Mm-hmm. Thank God. That's great. Anything else good for the Switch online services? You can play games online with your friends. Okay. Awesome.
That's great.
You can you can play online with your friends. Cool. All right, moving on to the bad. The bad I also have on here. It's cheap.
Disagree a little here.
And it's cheap because everything you can do almost online, you can already do. You know why? Because I can play Splatoon 2 online right now for free. Why am I paying for it now?
Yeah, but are they going to change that?
No. Well, yeah, you will have to pay for it now.
Yes, in the future.
Yes, when this launches in a week.
So what I'm saying though is like Splatoon was, correct me if I'm wrong, an online only game. Like, you have to connect to the internet, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the service wasn't out yet. They had no choice but to let you do it for free.
That just seems like really poor on their part. Or something that was obviously free and now is not free. That just, to me, kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah,
like, do you get anything extra? Do you get voice chat? Sure, if you have a cell phone.
Okay, I didn't see. You do have a cell phone though.
Do you get in-app, like, can you message people on the Switch? No, you have to do it with a cell phone.
I mean, okay.
It's not the point that everyone has a cell phone. It's stupid that you have to use a cell phone.
Okay, but you're texting people anyway.
Why does Fortnite, the worst game ever made, have in-game voice chat, but Splatoon can't?
Maybe they'll
Really? Do you think Nintendo's gonna really? You think they're ever gonna do it?
I was gonna say update it, but
yeah, right.
Wait, they're coming out with a new It's a Splatoon 2 starter pack.
And I would bet you $1 billion it won't have voice chat in it.
So you never know. No. I'm just saying you don't know.
Never gonna have voice chat. Never.
We'll
Nintendo
see.
is determined to make you use a cell phone and use your cell phone's battery and data to.
Dang.
That's true. I mean, that's what you're doing. You're using another device that's not Nintendo to make Nintendo stuff work.
If you're at home, you're probably on your Wi-Fi anyway.
Yes, but it's one of those things where it's just the principle. Every other console in the universe doesn't need a second device to talk to people. Why does the Switch? There is no excuse.
Fair enough. Moving
on.
I'll give you that.
So cool. You also get to play 20 classic NES games. most of which are on the NES Mini.
Okay, but which NES games are they? And I also don't have a Mini, so...
No, but you own most of these games. I don't have a list. I didn't care enough to write it down. It's cool that they're there. Once again, who is this for, though? People that like these games have a Mini. Or have the actual games already.
That's true.
And yes, they have online multiplayer now.
But you know what? I must say, it's nice to have another... these will be easier to access, than pulling out your Mini or pulling out your old system, dusting off your games. Yes, I love doing that. Absolutely. I do. But I think this is cool too. Why can't you have both?
That's great.
I'm just wondering.
I'd like to have actual virtual console and not a list of 30-year-old games I already have on 3 different formats. And me, like a lot of people, most of these games I have on my Wii. I have my 3DS. I guess that means I own them for my new console, right? Nope, sorry, those are still locked to that console. You have to get them again with the service now. Mm-hmm. That's Nintendo being backwards. That's why I love how they're having all these great games. They need to get the times and get out of the 1980s with these ideas. It's just stupid.
But I'm stuck in the 1980s.
But see, it's great for some stuff, but not for online infrastructure. Mm. Let's see, what else? So the NES game's great. Oh yeah, cloud saves will be immediately deleted if you let your subscription lapse.
Okay, this I can kind of understand. But the thing is I just thought of this. To be fair, it is the cheapest online subscription.
And I would happily pay more if it didn't suck. This is, once again, comparing it directly to its competition, where Microsoft and Sony, if for some reason you forget to do something or, lose your job or whatever, they don't immediately delete all of your save data. Imagine that, because save data doesn't take up a lot of space. It's like 20 megs for all of your games. It's not the game's data, like the whole game. It's the save file. It's nothing. It's ridiculous. So let's imagine this, okay? This is obviously a very what-if situation, but let's say I have my Switch. I forget to renew my subscription, and then I drop my Switch, and it breaks. Well, there goes my Xenosaga. There goes my Mario Odyssey. There goes my Disgaea. Oops.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a little bit harsh, but, to be fair, I feel like it's balanced out by how cheap the subscription is.
I get it, but once again, you should just make it more expensive. If that's the case, you should just make it more expensive, because the only thing you're paying for is a bunch of old Nintendo games at this rate.
You can't really compare, Nintendo is dipping their feet in the water.
Don't ever say you can't compare Nintendo to another. They are competitors. Just because they are late to the party does not mean I want to hold them to the exact same standard.
I understand that they're competitors, but they really... I hate to say this, but I feel like they're on a completely different level
don't care.
from Sony and Microsoft, because a lot of their games, they know people are going to buy Nintendo. That's the only way to reach these beloved games. Mario, Kirby, Donkey Kong.
Your thoughts
Zelda,
are the exact reason why they get away with it. It's like, oh, we have to be nice to Nintendo. They just don't understand.
But what I'm saying, though, is they've been
They've been around longer than Microsoft.
Little, Nintendo verse.
I'm not standing for this. No, they've been part of the business for longer than either one of their competitors, and they are the furthest behind the times. There is zero excuse for that.
I don't think they're further behind. I just think they're different. They've always been a different type
translates to stupid in this case.
No, they've always been a different type of company. You can't compare them to Sony or Microsoft, because I feel like they're so different.
No, they're a video game company.
And they've run.
You can compare them exactly to Sony and Microsoft.
Their business has always been different from Sony and Microsoft.
Their business is to make money from selling video games, and they make poor decisions sometimes. In which case is this? Oh, did I mention, by the way, that if you want to save Pokemon Let's Go or Splatoon or like Dark Souls, tough, because for some reason those don't work. The cloud saves do not work for certain games. So far, we only know a couple of them. So let's say you have 100 hours of Pokemon Let's Go and break your Switch. You're still screwed. You know why? Because they're afraid of cheaters. And because they can't fix the problem, you just lose the thing. So you're paying for the feature still. If you want to play Splatoon online, you're paying for the feature, but you can't use the whole features, though. Isn't that great?
Yeah, okay. That one is a little painful. I do understand. But that's
backwards thinking.
This game, they haven't been in this... pun. No pun intended. But they haven't been in the online game.
You realize that's been their excuse since the GameCube? It's like, oh, well, they're new to the online game. That's why the GameCube has things, but they're not going to be into it. Oh, for the Wii, they're new to online game. That's why there's friend codes. The Wii U, they're still new to online game. That's why there's still friend codes. When is it going to be enough?
But here's what I think. I think they've always been just a different type of company. They've always marched to the beat of their own drum. And rather than, with Sony and Microsoft in a way, they kind of force people to evolve with online service, with multiplayer, with digital. I feel like they have kind of forced people into a corner. It's like, well, either you evolve with us or you don't get a PlayStation 4, you don't get an Xbox One, or you don't play these games that require online only. But with Nintendo, I think they've always tried to stay the same and give people the same type of service, and they evolve. I don't know.
I get that, but see,
you get what I'm trying to say.
That has nothing to do with
it's
poor infrastructure, though. None at all.
I get it.
And mind you, I'm being really harsh here, and I love Nintendo. I love my Switch. I love the games, and that's why it really bugs me that they make these terrible decisions.
But Nintendo has always tried to include everybody, so they're trying to make a service that everybody can afford.
Okay.
They're trying
In what way does having not all of your games work include everybody? In what way does deleting your things if you forget to do your sub, how does that include everybody? That's a great thing to say, but that sounds like you're being a politician and you're doing something on a soapbox and you're trying to take away everyone's idea from like the actual problem. I love how Nintendo has a family-friendly console. I love it. But there is no reason why they can't do basic quality of life stuff that their competitors have been doing for a decade.
But here's the deal also. I don't pick up my Switch or my 3DS or my Wii U or my GameCube, any of my Nintendo consoles. I don't pick them up to get the same experience that Sony gives me. You know, I've always been a Sony kid. I love Sony. Absolutely. I will, be a Sony person for life. But they are different experiences. And I don't pick up a Nintendo console to get the Sony experience. I expect different experiences.
So let me ask you this then.
I wouldn't own, 3 consoles. I would own just one.
I agree that. So let me ask you this then. What reason do you have to pay for the online? None. Because you have no reason to pay for it because you don't want that experience.
I mean, maybe for me, it would not be worth it. Will I try the online? Yes. But will I keep it? I don't know, because it might not be something that I'll use. But I at least want to see what it's about. I want to see what they offer. I want to see what it's like. And maybe it'll help them grow in the future. They'll change it, maybe not this year, but next year.
All I'm saying is what they should have done, frankly, and you can disagree if you want. That's fine. That's why opinions are great. Once again, I'm aware that I'm being harsh here towards Nintendo, but it's because
everything you're saying is fair.
I respect what they do, and I love a lot of what they do. And then there are some cases where they just make these huge left field things where it's like, who did you pull this idea out of a hat? Like, what were you thinking? Like, ideally.
I have to admit, I do agree with you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But I do have to agree with you. If you let your sub lapse thing is weird. Yeah.
And obviously that's a once in a blue moon situation, but the fact that once again their competitors have been doing this for a long time, do it so much better. And it's not something where it's like, oh, they're new to the game. It's like, no, this is something that they've consciously decided to do.
I don't know if they're doing that because they want people to never let their subs lapse.
That's probably exactly why they want more.
But that just doesn't seem like
doesn't it feel almost greedy? Which is weird because Nintendo is doing the best right now, and they don't need to be greedy, I don't think, anymore. Where like this would have been an ideal Nintendo Online, okay? We're not gonna talk about YouTube, we're not gonna talk about Netflix, whatever. We'll just drop that right now, okay? Just drop it. Make it like PS Plus or Xbox Live, where you pay for the service, you can do in-game party and voice chat. So if you want to play with your friends, I don't need to pull out my cell phone. Let's say my cell phone's at 10%, but I have a full Switch. Okay, cool. I can use voice chat or just text chats. Or on PlayStation and Xbox, you can make parties so you can talk to people outside of games and just talk like a lot of people do. That would have been great. Let's have something like Games with Gold or PS Plus where you get select games every month, and as long as you keep this, here's the thing about this is the reinforcing you keeping your subscription. As long as you keep the subscription, you can get new games every month.
And play
we have
games.
I don't know about you, but I have a gigantic library of games on my PS4 right now of just PS Plus because I've had it for a couple of years now. Not here's 20, 30-year-old games. No. Let's do 64 games. Let's do, God forbid, GameCube games now. Games that people want desperately to play, and the only way to play them is either to pirate them or to go buy them from a retro store, which is great because that's what I do. But I want to play Mario Sunshine on the go. I want to play Eternal Darkness on the go. I want to play F-Zero on the go. I want to pay them to do this, and they will not let me.
Fair enough.
But I can play Balloon Fight. Again. Damn. Pardon my language.
I mean, I get that. I definitely get where you're coming from. I just think right now they're testing things out. I think they are.
Okay, mark this then. We will come back to this in January. Okay? And at that point, that excuse will never apply again.
And who knows? Maybe if this is successful, they will add those games. Maybe they will add Eternal Darkness. Maybe they will add F-Zero. Maybe that's in the future.
But I doubt it. I really do.
I mean, you don't know.
Because that wouldn't be a $20 a month service. And I get, like, you very literally get what you pay for. Mm-hmm. And in this case, I feel as though you're getting a substandard service for a substandard price. But I mean, once again, if that's all they want it to be, that's fine.
I think it's because they realize that they don't really know what to do. It's just something that they're trying.
It needs to be a case. We'll drop this, but all they have to do is listen to their fans or look at their competitors. Like, here's what works for literally everybody else. Maybe for once we don't have to be Nintendo and do what works. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying. Okay, we're gonna move on because that's once again, I hate turning shows into Nintendo gripe shows. I try not to. I really do because I play my Switch almost more than anything else. I want to make that clear.
He has actually cut 15 to 20 minutes out of a show before.
So, I mean, I think all this was good, but it just, it's a matter of, I want to see them do good stuff because I love what the Switch is doing. Mm-hmm. And it sucks that I see them doing things that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But I can deal with the ports because there's lots of good games being ported. I can deal with all that because there's lots of new content coming as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just other weird things that drive me crazy.
And I'm really proud of them that they're trying really hard to come out with games that people want and rated M games as well.
Like let's say this, okay? I get what makes sense from a business perspective. I don't understand the online thing being what makes sense to them for a business perspective. Let's talk about Sony's really quick, super quick. Let's talk about Sony and Cross-Play. How Sony is the big bad guy right now because they refuse to do Cross-Play. Well, no, it's true.
No,
from a consumer perspective, Sony is the bad guy because allegedly, and this is only mind you, only what we see, and what we see as consumers is nothing. But right now, Nintendo and Switch, different companies, mind you, Nintendo and Microsoft have said, we want crossplay, we want to do all this stuff, and the only thing holding us back is Sony. Sony refuses to do crossplay. Mm-hmm. And I get that 100% because I guarantee you, if Xbox was in the place Sony was, they would be no.
Oh, absolutely.
No.
And it's funny that people are complaining about that because I don't know if you remember last generation, but how Microsoft doesn't let any third parties create wireless controllers for them.
Oh, whoops. You mean what they still do
how about
now?
That?
Yeah.
And now Sony does that now as well, but it's smart from a business perspective. Yeah. And Microsoft was getting away with it, so why not?
Once again, that's the thing I get. It's not necessarily the best for us as consumers.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand.
But see, that's a choice that I get because that's someone saying, no, we're the best. We have the largest market share. Yeah. Why would we bother to share with you guys?
I mean, and I agree, kind of.
I get I wish crossplay was great. I wish I could
crossplay is fun.
I wish I could play people with with my PC that would be on the Xbox or with something like that. That would be great. But I understand.
But also rechargeable batteries, Microsoft, really? Come on now.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go through the Tokyo Game Show thing really quick, and this is just the PlayStation pre-show thing. We're gonna wrap that up and we're gonna get out of here because I swear to God, we're never gonna have a show we're gonna have to just do a show where we talk about one topic.
I know.
And we might get under an hour, maybe one day. So Tokyo Game Show, once again, starts on the 20th, but Sony did their pre-thing, which was hilariously awful if you watched it, by the way. Oh, no. Because they did an English version where it was narrated by this one guy who was just a champ. I love this guy because there was a spaceship DualShock. You didn't see this, did you, Britt?
No.
Where it was a spaceship that was a DualShock 4 flying through space, and every star cluster was another game. It was hilarious. It was so, whimsical.
Right.
But this one guy who was the announcer, and every face button was a different computer talking. Mm-hmm. I showed you a clip of this where you could hear in the background it was a different actor in the Japanese language, but in the English version it was one guy doing somewhat different voices. Where this was his first computer voice, this was his second computer voice, this was his third computer voice, and it was that for an hour and a half.
That sounds so fun though.
Man, that guy's just a champ, and he knocks it out of the park. I mentioned that because our first game here that I specifically want to talk about was Judge Eyes, or Project Judge. And you can't tell which one because this poor woman, this poor lady, they got to translate this. I swear they pulled her from the staff. Is it translate this now? No prep, go. If you guys watch this, you'll understand. Or if not, you need to watch this so you can feel bad for her with me.
I sympathize. That's not easy to do.
No, not at all.
Especially if you know that you're being watched or recorded.
Yeah.
Because this is, and I'm so sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting. But I know sign language. And so sometimes when I am working, if a deaf person happens to walk in and I start talking to them, but I start to get really nervous because I know that people are watching us. And so I start to hiccup a little bit. And not,
start hiccuping violently.
Yeah, not actual hiccup, but my hands start to kind of hiccup.
How does that affect your sign language, by the way? Is it like, she's very excited, isn't she? Goodness.
But I have to pause and think about it a little bit longer than I guess if I was in a comfortable situation.
Right. It's that stage fright.
So kind of, yes, yeah. Very much so, because you know that people are watching. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of scary. So to put somebody in that situation is just terrible.
No, I get it. It's just like
when they weren't expecting
the
it.
Switch unveiling. Remember just the disaster that show was, where they had different people. And that one guy, you could just hear he went, because he screwed up. Yeah. It felt like, I showed you some of it where you could just hear her just tripping over her words and stuttering and stuff.
Because it's completely different.
Super hard. Where this poor lady, they told her to narrate the trailer. So she's just saying what she can hear while people are talking over each other during the trailer for this game. It's like, man, that poor woman.
I know.
And it was kind of difficult to figure out what the game was because she was trying to describe the game. It was very kind of like slapdash and broken. But so Project Judge, or Judge Eyes, she was calling it Project Judge, but the title in English said Judge Eyes, so I don't know what you want to call it, is a game from the developers of Yakuza, an amazing, like, eclectic, weird series of games, which I don't know if you've ever played, Britt, but they're hilarious and awesome. But it's about lawyers and a murder case, and the lawyers are doing detective work, I think.
That sounds
and there's like just Yakuza levels of bizarre. It looks great. Made by Sega, of course. But
you mean like the dating sim in Yakuza? Like the little moshi picks up the phone, moshi.
Yes. Yeah, so it's going to have that level of whimsy.
That sounds stunning.
Yeah, it looks like a gritty Yakuza Phoenix Wright.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
So that looks awesome.
And you know me, I love like murder mysteries and detectiving, and I made up that word.
Detectiving. Not the word of the show because it's not real.
It's not a real word, kids.
It's a very whimsical word. So, but that looks great. Also, I thought you would love this Space Channel 5 VR.
Yes! I love Space Channel.
Shoot.
It's so good.
I'm just happy because
and in VR,
I can't
that's
play it
be
now.
So amazing.
Because, the current version is like the old version of Amplitude, where it doesn't work on flat panels. You have to have a CRT because the timing is off. So this is made for HD, so it's going to work so much better. I'm stoked.
I'm really excited because I put a lot of hours into Space Channel. It's so good.
Rhythm game madness.
Yes, so fun.
We saw a new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer with Big Hero 6, and I swear, everyone, like, I haven't seen Big Hero 6 yet, so I remember I was reading about it being rumored, but I love Big Hero 6. That movie's awesome, so robots, yay.
I can tell you, Kingdom Hearts 3 will not disappoint.
But it will be delayed.
No, it won't. No, son. No, I don't think so.
I'll believe it when I
Here's
see
the deal.
When I hold it in my hot little hands.
So I was lucky enough to play.
We're a sprinkler.
Did I mention? I don't know if I mentioned this last show, but I got to play some games a few weeks ago that aren't released yet. Thank you to everybody who was involved. Sorry, but
man,
yes,
that's some thunder right now.
Yeah, that threw me off, man.
If the recording just cuts off randomly, it's because we're going to be washed away.
Yeah, the thunder's really bad. I'm surprised you can't hear it. There it is again.
There it is again.
Anyway, yes, to everyone involved, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But being able to play these games was super amazing. Devil May Cry 5 was on there.
I hate you.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. And it was amazing. I was crying. And it will not disappoint, and it will not be delayed. Sir.
Once again, when it's in my hand,
it will not.
I will believe you.
I will be so surprised because to me it felt, and this could just be me being a fangirl, I will admit, but it felt so polished. I don't see any reason.
Well, it's only had like 50 years.
That's true.
It's only been in production since, televisions were made.
I don't see any reason why it should be delayed. No reason whatsoever.
Well, in my mind, there are two constants in this world, and that's that Smash and Kingdom Hearts never come out on time. But we will see.
January 29th, it's going to be here. Mm-hmm. And it plays beautifully, so don't worry about it.
I hope you're right.
Go buy it.
But I doubt it. We'll see, though.
No, it won't.
So we saw that, and then there's a weird VR experience, which you didn't see much, and it looks kind of janky. Kind of like the VR thing for Final Fantasy 15, which never really came out. Final Fantasy 15. Mm-hmm. So that looks meh. But Kingdom Hearts 3, great. We saw a new video for Earth Defense Force Iron Rain, which we saw last year. It's not EDF 5. It's like a side game. It's like a spin-off for EDF.
But it looks like EDF.
It looks like EDF. It looks like they're using a different engine, though. That makes it look a little bit prettier. My concern is that hopefully they're not going to try to make it too serious, because the best part about EDF is that it's really bad and super cheesy.
But it's so bad it's good, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
Oh my god. So many amazing hours playing Earth Defense.
Yeah. And 5 is coming soon.
I love Earth Defense.
I think 5 is coming out sometime holiday season this year in this country, which is going to be great. And then Iron Rain releases in Japan sometime early next year, so probably summertime for us, which will be phenomenal. I love how EDF's a big thing over here now. I love that to death.
It's because they're fantastic.
Yep, and they're so bad. Also, Left Alive. I have no idea what this game is about, but it has robots. Left Alive is a Square Enix game. It actually reminds me very much of Front Mission as far as the character designs and stuff like that. So we'll see. But from the trailer, which is a cinematic trailer where there's war, people crying and being shot, and giant robots, that's all I know, and that's all I need to know to buy it. I mean, it's robots. What do you expect? Bert, anything to share about Left Alive? You saw the trailer for it?
I saw the trailer and I think it looks just like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, it's a Mac game. It's got robots.
Yeah.
We're good.
It's a Mac game all the way.
Also, Gungrave Gore, another game that we know very little about because there was a 1 and 38-second trailer that showed no gameplay. It was lots of credits, and we saw Grave going, and that was the entire thing.
Just like that, huh?
Pretty much. He was like, But Gungrave,
I mean, it looks
those
pretty.
games are horrible. I mean, those games are really, really bad. Britt, can we agree that those games are really, really bad?
The Gungrave games?
Yeah. They're pretty bad.
But I own them anyway.
Yeah, but it's one of my favorite animes of all time. It's one of those like cry manly tears kind of animes. Like it's, I'm sorry, but I cry. I don't care. That anime is great.
Yeah, it's a really good anime, but I don't think I could watch it over and over again.
It's like a good mafia anime though. So it has that like it's an anime Sopranos with a little bit of sci-fi in it. It's really good, dude. It's really good. But so I have to give it a chance just because of that. And the last thing on here, I'm going to butcher this thing. Britt, do you want to start to say this name so I don't have to?
No.
Deracine.
Something. Wait.
Deracine. Deracine.
No. Is that French?
Deracine? I don't know.
What is that?
It's a word. I have no idea what it is, but it's from Software.
Because it had like a little.
It's from Software. Made by From Software. There we go. That's the word. It's a VR adventure game.
It's from Software.
Being developed at From Software. And I have no idea what this game is. It's supposed to be an old school adventure game played through VR.
See, and you were expecting it to look like it because it's like, and the fairies, blah, 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 blah.
I was waiting for a monster to come out and eat somebody.
But to me,
it's From Software.
It doesn't look scary. It just looks like it's supposed to be this whimsical.
I was going to say, is it whimsical, Brittany? But just organically, away you go.
It's supposed to be this
like,
whimsical,
it's this
fairy
old
tale
house. It looks like almost like an academy or something like that. That it's got vines and ivy, and there's weird narration like you're going to become a fairy.
I bet you just come across creatures of folklore.
Like it reminded me a lot of the narration from Silent Hill 3. Where it's like, we're going to take you into paradise, which means lots of dead, evil monsters ripping your face off. Plus, it's From Software, so I was expecting, this little girl to, like, grow and become a demon and eat the camera or something.
I mean, I would love it to be horror, but that's not the vibe I got from it.
It sounds like it's going to be almost like a Myst or Riven kind of game, where, it's this, you go around, you grab items, and you solve puzzles and stuff, which I am all for, because they don't make enough of those anymore. But I don't know. Every time I see it, I expect something creepy to happen.
Speaking of folklore, can I get an HD remaster of that, please?
Folklore? Oh, the PS3 Folklore? Yes. That game was awesome. Okay. If you have a PS3 and you have not played Folklore, it's awesome.
So good.
What would you call it? Third-person hack and slash RPG? Yeah? Where you collect fairies and the fairy. It's like, you remember in Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, where you would get different tattoos and those would be different attacks? That's like it is. You get different fae. And they are your different attacks.
And
it's a
so
really
cute.
good game.
And the game is just, the style is so pretty. The art direction is so gorgeous.
Yeah, that game just dropped off the map.
Perfect mixture of like dark and gothy, but
a very Britney game, very whimsical.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and whimsy, and it's super whimsical and dark, but it's so cool.
Yeah.
I would really love...
I would agree. It's a great game.
Yeah, and I felt like I did pretty well, and then people just forgot about it.
It was like a PS3... was it launched? It wasn't quite... Was it launched title?
No,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was
Darn
launched.
good game.
Underappreciated gem.
So play that Folklore. It's not expensive. It's cheap as heck.
Yeah.
Fantastic game. Anything else, Brittany? Anything to add?
Well, yeah, I want to give a shout out to some of these games that I saw are coming out soon, and I'm super proud of Nintendo, and I'm super proud of all the games that they're coming out with and they're putting on there. So have you heard of Cat Quest?
Yes, I've heard of Cat
Oh
Quest.
my God!
That looks really bad.
No, it doesn't!
Oh, no. I'm sorry. No, Cat Quest is the one that looks kind of like Zelda. That one looks cool. It's the other one, that weird
And
Sisters game that looked terrible.
The kitties have like little hoods, and
Little
you can
kitty
get
cat- little kitty caps.
It's an RPG, and you can have like an adventure RPG, and you
And it's
can
like
have
a 4-player
powers,
co-op thing. Yeah.
And I don't think it's co-op.
Well, I saw 4 different windows. It's not co-op?
Did you? I don't think it was.
I
co-op.
hope so. If not, it's going to be a lot less cool to
I
me
mean,
now.
that would totally be a missed opportunity if it's not co-op. But Cat Quest looks amazing. Deathmark is coming out for the Switch in
Another
October.
murder mystery game. Yes,
I believe
we
it's
know.
October. It is a horror visual novel. I am so excited. Thank you. I need it now. It came out in Japan for the Vita in like June of last year. So, oh my God, thank God it's coming to the States.
Can you tell what she plays most of the time, guys?
And then the one that you were talking, there's a game called Moonlighter that I think looks really cool. I need to look into it. Now, I have no idea if these games have existed on Steam or not. I don't know.
I think, Moonlighter I remember seeing at PAX, I believe. Not this year, but last year, I think, when I was in Boston.
It looks like...
it looks very Zelda.
Moonlighter, no.
Isn't Moonlighter the top-down one?
No.
Which one's Moonlighter?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It is a top-down, but it looks kind of... Moonlighter reminds me of like a... Because I saw farming. It looked like a much more in-depth... Like,
I saw like dungeons and stuff.
You were farming...
Almost like a rune factory then?
No, I don't think I showed you the trailer for Moonlighter.
Maybe I looked at something. I don't know.
But it looked like you were farming stuff, and then you were fighting monsters.
So rune factory.
Kind of, but more fighting. That's what it kind of looked like. I don't know.
So
I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. Maybe. And
Hard
then
R.
the one that I think looks cool, that's a platformer that you didn't think looked great. It was called Giana Sisters
That's the
Twisted
one, yeah.
Dreams.
Yeah, it looked very
I'm
cell
so
phone game.
shocked. This looked super cool
just
to
looked
me.
kind of bleh.
And it was a platformer, and we love
See,
platformers.
it goes back to 3D, 2D games. I just think look ugly and cheap. And that's just my opinion. Where it's
You're too spoiled now because you're playing God of War and Spider-Man and
yeah. And
but it can things can
it goes
look
back
chibi
to
and look great
It goes back
too.
to stuff like Rayman, where Rayman is one of the most beautiful 2D platformers I've seen in the past decade. And then you have stuff like like what were we talking about? Like Mega Man. Oh, did you play the demo for Mega Man 11? By the way,
Yes.
What do you think about that, Britt? She's not immediately saying it's good.
No, I mean it just.
It's not that good, is it, Britt?
No, that's not true.
It wasn't that good, Britt.
I thought it was pretty cool.
It didn't look that good. Didn't play that good, Britt. You can admit it. It's okay. Hopefully it'll get better, but the demo was not that good.
I felt like I would have to get my hands on it for a little bit longer. That I'm not gonna lie, Mega Man was not something that I rushed to, even though I thoroughly enjoy Mega Man. You know how I feel about Mega Man. But I was more concerned with playing Smash, Kingdom Hearts, and
the demo's on the Switch now.
And Devil May Cry 5.
So you can play it now, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that good. But it was okay. It was better than Mighty Number 9, which is not difficult. But, it's okay. I mean, it's once again, it's the visuals. It's like, give me back my sprites. Mega Man does not belong in 3D. Stop it. Just
but I
stop
don't mind. I think it's pretty.
It's like I say, it's fine. It would look better if it was sprites. It just would. Like, have the people who made Skullgirls do Mega Man. Just the design, please. That is such a pretty game. Yeah, I'm spoiled. Yeah, I'm a brat. Whatever. I don't care.
Snob. No.
Yes, sure. I mean, it's the way it goes. Okay, we're leaving. Because guess what? We've been here for almost an hour and a half. We are out.
Good day, sir.
I have to take medication for my foot.
Oh, yeah.
At least I'm home. You still have to go home. I'm here already. We're doing this from my place, which is why I'm recording, so you don't have to see my room full of robots. It's the way it goes. Well, we are going to get out of here. Thank you for listening. Once again, if you want to answer our question of the show or the question to you, what was your favorite superhero game and what was your favorite cutscene in the game?
Yes,
please
feel
let us
free
know.
to answer us, correct us, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Tell
No
us
problem.
your opinions.
Yeah. Go ahead and send us an email to podcast@gameovervideogames.com, or if you're watching this on YouTube, like the video, leave a comment. We are watching. We're going to get on out of here.
And please let me know where I should start with Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yes, best Spider-Man start
Comic
points,
book-wise,
jumping off points.
Yeah, like story arc.
All right, we're leaving. I'm Matt.
Brittany.
Thanks for watching the not video. We'll be back next time on Game Overcast. Ta-ta.
Good night.
Whimsical.